Hello and welcome to Scrapping on the Fly. My name is Kristen and I am here with another part of my Thankfully Inspired series. And it is 52 weeks, 52 favorite photo hop, YouTube hop. And so I'm going to document a picture of my family, or well, the ladies, at the movies. And today I am going to talk about none other than the lovely Sandie, which is Scrapping Reflections or State Goddess here on YouTube. And I've got a couple of layouts of hers that I am going to pull some of the things that I was inspired most about and create my own layout based off of these two. And I'll get into that a little bit more in just a minute. I am using 49 and Market Starlight something. I know it's right there. And, you should, Starlight Dreams. Bless. I've only used it a couple of times. I'm going to use the stencil that it came from, Scrapping Reflections. I also have some little wooden hearts or stars that came from Scrapping Reflections. I've got my papers, my embellishments, and my layouts from Sandie. So let's see how this goes. So I am going to start with Sandie's, at least as far as I know, favorite stencil. It's the All-Star stencil. And I start with Squeezed Lemonade, and then I'm going to add Stormy Sky to finish it out. Originally, my plan was to do a darker blue, but the darkest blue I have was not what I was looking for. So I decided to go with one of the lighter blues that's in this collection and went with Stormy Sky because I felt like it was the closest to the light smoky blue that I was going to use from the papers. So I get that down. I love the way it turns out. Now I'm only doing the bottom half because one of the layouts that I shared is a diagonal half and half. And so I'm going with that. I'm using this paper from the 49 Market collection where she has that green leafy pattern. I believe that's a Vicky Bouton or maybe a Chamel up in the top right corner. And so I am going to use the the 49 Market paper, and then I'm using the mixed media like she has in her other layout, which I've now got up there in the top corner. Pretty much what I did was took this layout right here that's up in the top corner and added that diagonal half of the page. That was the biggest thing I pulled from the other layout. I love that she does a lot of layouts with just one picture. That is one of she is the first YouTuber that I found. It was after I got on Anne Marie's site on Facebook, and there were video posts or posts there, to go check out their video. And I thought, oh, I didn't know people scrapbooked on YouTube. That would be cool to look at. And so Sandie was the first one that I found. And I went to her YouTube channel and fell in love with her style because she's just matter of fact. She is tell it like it is. She does what she wants to do and doesn't necessarily play by any of the rules that people may set out, like the rule of three or the triangles or, and a lot of times people still typically lean that way, but she will scrapbook in a way that she just does what feels good to her, and she scrapbooks what she wants, like Disney trash cans and all the random things, the numbers. She used to scrapbook a lot of document certain things on her car, like when she was at a certain mileage or, whatever it is. And so I really took a lot of inspiration from the fact that she did what she wanted and didn't necessarily feel like she had to bend to any of the typical types of ways that people scrapbook. And she scrapbooked whatever she wanted. And she would take an entire 12 by 12 layout to document one single picture of a trash can or her dashboard or whatever. And I loved the freedom of that and thinking, oh, I could do that. There are so many cool random things that I would have never thought to document because, I thought, oh, I needed to document the birthdays and the, babies and pets and all those kinds of things that you typically, see people document. And so that opened up this big world of freedom for me. And I just was always awed and inspired by her creativity and just the way that she went about everything. She always made me laugh, and I always just enjoyed listening to her stories. And she'd tell stories about the picture she was taking, or about what was going on at her job that day, or whatever it is. And so it's like gaining a friend because of the way she would talk about her family. And it's like she'd start talking about her husband, and I would just think about his name, and like I know what his name was, I knew her kid's name, things like that, because you just start to feel like you're a part of their friendship group, because you start to learn more about people, which it's hard not to, since this this craft is personal. And while you could definitely scrapbook things that aren't just personal, and you could do things that are, like trash cans at Disney, typically what we document is personal. It's our family, it's our friends, it's, our work, or, our hobbies, things like that. And so you just automatically kind of get to know people. I feel like a lot of people are watching my grandson grow up with me. And, I posted a video while I'm doing this. It's just been a couple of days ago, but earlier in October, I posted a video of my grandson's first steps. And so many people posted, "Oh my gosh, this is so cool. I can't believe he's already walking. And it seems like he was just born," because those people have been, either subscribers or watching my videos for over a year now. And so they were there when I found out, in a way, they were there when I found out we were having a baby. And they were there when I found out that it was going to be a boy. I mean, all these different things and these journeys that we go on. And so it's just cool to feel that friendship that you pretty much build with the people who watch your videos or look at your scrapbook layouts. And so Sandie really brought that home for me, and I loved that. And so that is what got me started initially on YouTube, was watching her. And then there were some others, one you'll see tomorrow and going forward. But it was just such a neat experience. And so I am so grateful for her because of her character, and how free she is, and how open she is, and just pretty much tells you, do what the heck you want to do. And that really opened a lot of doors for me, and I will always be grateful for that. So with my layout, I did add some of the little wood veneer stars that I got from Scrapping Reflections, which is her store that she runs. And the big part of her store is her stencils, and I love them. I have a ton of them. And I love that they're 12 by 12, because it makes my life a whole lot easier. I'm terrible with like the smaller stencils sometimes, and so I love when they're 12 by 12 like hers. But I put on some of the wood veneers. I added a couple of the stars from the collection. I made my own tags at the top. I was very careful to make sure there are no naked tag holes, Sandie, just so you know, and not a single butterfly in sight. Those were my two main goals, other than to pull the things from the two layouts. Like I said, this layout, I pulled that half and half that I really appreciate in a layout. And then this other one, I pulled the background mixed media. And then pretty much kind of the way that my picture and the strips and stuff are on my layout is pretty much pulled from this. I did not put as many strips. She does a lot of layering, which I love. But I did add a lot of little strips and stuff here. Mostly scraps that I had, except that wood grain I definitely trimmed up, and the background paper for the picture I trimmed. So, but I love the way this turned out. Sandie, I appreciate you so much for being so open, so honest, and so free with your scrapbooking and sharing that with everybody. I hope you all will go and check her out. Like I said, she is State Goddess here on YouTube. I can't imagine any of you don't already follow her. Scrapping Reflections is her store, so please go check that out. I hope you all come along with me for the rest of this month. I would love it if you give me a thumbs up if you like my video and or my layout. And I hope you'll have a wonderful and thankful and happy, inspirational day. And I hope you get a chance today to do something you love with someone you love. Happy scrapping!